Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this new video today where we'll be taking a look at some of my most prized Doctor Who possessions. Before we begin, I want to go over a couple things. Number one, I was tagged by Hannah from My Love for Doctor Who. Her channel will be linked in the description below. Number two, I don't really have a camera, so I just took pictures of all my possessions and I'll put clips in where I need to put them. And finally, at the end of the video I'll probably tag somebody else, but that won't be for a little bit. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first item on my list of prized possessions is my copy of Day of the Doctor. The reason why it's on this list is because it's really what started my whole collection. This was the very first item in my collection that I got way back in 2013 for Christmas. It was the first Doctor Who thing I ever owned. It was the first Doctor Who episode I ever watched on TV. Yeah, you're probably surprised by that. But this is really what started it all, and I wouldn't be a Doctor Who fan without this. So, if it weren't for Day of the Doctor, David Tennant, Matt Smith, John Hurt, I probably wouldn't be here today doing this video. So, that's why Day of the Doctor is on this list. Next up on my list of prized possessions is my first classic Doctor Who DVD, The Reign of Terror. This DVD is probably one of the more important ones in my collection just because of what it means. It was my first classic Who DVD, it was my first Doctor DVD. It basically introduced me to the world of missing episodes, 60s Who, classic Who. It was basically the gateway that opened up this door to all these previous years of Doctor Who that I hadn't yet seen at the time. So it's pretty crazy that this one DVD kind of started all that. But I will say it's probably not as important as the next item on this list, just because of what the next item on this list really means to me personally. So with that being said, The Reign of Terror is on this list for being not only my first classic Who DVD, but my gateway to classic Doctor Who. Next up is my copy of The Moon Base. This is my favorite Doctor Who story. This is my favorite second Doctor story, Cybermen story. This was my second classic Doctor Who DVD I ever picked up, and it's one of my favorites. It basically gave me my love for the second Doctor, the Cybermen, for this era of the show. It was just one of my favorites. It still is one of my favorites. I love it so much. This is one of those Doctor Who stories that I probably watched the most. And it was basically what really got me hooked to this era of the show. Without this DVD, I probably wouldn't have made all those Doctor Who title sequences that I had without, like, this story. This is really what's kind of pushed it all forward. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about this one, even though I could talk about the Moon Base all day, which I really, really could and would love to do. I think that's where I should leave it. So yeah, the Moon Base is on this list because it basically shaped the Doctor Who fan I am, me into the Doctor Who fan I am today. So this next item is probably going to be a bit of a double header. So this one's my autographed comic book that was autographed by John Barrowman and Billy Piper. Hopefully one day I can get it autographed by Chris Eccleston. But anyways, I got this item at the most recent Comic-Con here in my area. I'll probably have some clips from some of the panels that John and Billy Piper did in between here. I've met John before. I do have another autograph from John that you probably won't see in this video. You'll probably see it in another collection video another time. But this is probably one of my favorite years. I got to meet John because you'll probably see the picture up right out here. I got a selfie with John Barrowman dressed as the 13th Doctor. If there was any outfit I wanted to wear, it was that one. But this item's special because I got to meet some of my favorite companions, and this is really the momentum from that. So but there are some other big ones here too that we'll get to in a minute. But this one's probably the big one from the big autographs that I got this year. So with that, we'll probably just move on here. So these next two images are both pictures of me with David Tennant, Billy Piper, and this other one is with me, Catherine Tate, and my good friend Grace. These pictures are very special because they're really like those moments in time that you'll never forget when you meet these people. As you can see, the Tennant and Piper ones got a special frame that I purchased at this con, and these pictures are special because it's not every day you get to meet like your heroes, you know. Especially when it's amazing when you get to meet people, but it's not every day you get to meet the people that you've watched on TV and seen pretty much all of their stuff on Doctor Who. I especially love the David Tennant and Billy Piper one because I was basically standing in for Matt Smith because he was supposed to be in this picture too. Fortunately, he had to cancel, so I was like, you know what? I'll stand in for Matt if he's not going to be here. Originally, what I wanted to do for this picture was I was going to dress up as the 12th Doctor, and it was going to be a sort of like Day of the Doctor thing, which it still kind of ended up being. But, you know, also a special shout goes to both the Adipose and the Sonic Screwdriver. Both Adipose Catherine's holding and the Sonic Screwdriver David Tennant's holding, because I still have those in my collection. Those are very special objects now because of who held them. So yeah, I think at this point I'm gonna stop fangirling so I can just move on. Now we're gonna finally wrap this up with one of my favorite and most unique pieces in my collection. Inside this little globe here is snow from Twice Upon a Time, the 12th Doctor's last story. This item's very unique because it's the only bit of show-you stuff that's in my collection. Plus, to think how many people actually stepped on this snow. I mean, you got David Bradley, Pearl, Mackie, pretty much the whole cast and crew could have had their feet on this snow at some point. But it's also special because the 12th Doctor for the longest time was my Doctor. He's one of my favorites, and he basically was there for pretty much the whole of high school. So it's very special, and I really am so glad that I got this piece. This piece I got at the con this year. This piece is very unique because there's only 100 of these in the whole world. And I just so happen to own number 51, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. So, not only does this make the piece unique, it makes it a very rare piece too. So, if you can find one of these, definitely try and get one. Because this is probably the closest I'll ever get to owning a piece of screen used stuff ever. So with that, I'm going to end this video here. But before I do, I should probably tag the next person who should do this. I think it's going to be my friend Ponkin from the Who Back When podcast, because I haven't seen him do one of these yet. So Ponkin, ball's in your court, my guy. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. That will wrap it up for this year's Advent count, this year's Advent video series as well. And I hope to see, and I'll probably upload on Christmas Day, not sure yet. But if I do, you'll probably be the first to know. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas. Have a happy New Year too, if I don't see you before the New Year. And have a wonderful, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.